This truly is the day that the Lord has wrought. Let us rejoice and lift up our hearts in thankful praise and excitement. Just look at this setting. It is absolutely beautiful, and it enhances and adds to the great joy that we celebrate today. We all took a journey to arrive at this place because we were privileged and blessed to be invited by you to share this with you. But that's not the journey I'm thinking about. I'm talking about it's the journey that each of you have traveled. Each of you, from way back when, in your earliest years of your lives. But finally, the two of you came to that moment when you realized that you were meant for each other.
My sweet Scheller, through our love, you have shown me how to truly invest in myself and look at my motivations honestly. You have shown me how to prioritize and how to create a sacred space within myself, within my own heart, and a sacred space between the two of us and between our two hearts. You've shown me the sanctity of love and the fragility with which it should be handled. From this day forth, I promise to honor these ideals and to protect the sanctity that we have created between us. Our love is based on friendship. Simple, childish, fun, caring, and truly devoted to best friendship. Throughout our lives, when times got tough, we always had each other, and in those moments, truly counted on one another. I'm not sure where, but at some point in the early years, something happened. Something about our friendship took precedence over everything else. Looking out for your well-being became a part of who I was as a man. Caring for your every need, teaching you how to drive, never letting you pay for a drink, making sure the gentlemen that you were with were treating you right, making sure you had a serious dose of silly fun in your life, and just making sure you knew that someone was always looking over your shoulder. Not in an intrusive way, but rather an assurance that I was there for you if you needed me. It was just part of who I was.
In Judaism, when someone marries, they are said to become a complete person. It is the ideal state for a person to be in. Before discovering our love, I'm not sure I would have agreed with that or even understood it. I rather liked who I was, and I appreciate individualism. But through my devotion to you and to us, I am a more complete person because of the way that I think about and reflect on my own actions and how they affect you and how they affect us. Everything has really been set out before us, so obviously and so divinely, that all it took was for us to realize it.
So obviously, as everyone here is well aware by now, Lauren has been very good friends with Joel for a very long time, and not only with him, but with all of us. We have a great group of friends here. And there was one time several years ago, well before the two of them got together, and Joel was going through a little bit of a difficult time in his life. And Lauren and I were talking about him. We were concerned about our friend. And one of the things that we talked about was the fact that he has this so much to do and so busy all the time, and the worry that might make being in a relationship difficult for him. I said something to her like, Charlotte, I just think when he's with the right woman, he'll make the time. And so several years later, and had kept it private for a few months, initially announced by what I call the Instagram post that launched 1,000 texts. And not too long after that, Joel gave me a call to tell me about what had been going on. And I'll never forget this phone call. He was just so obvious how happy and how in love he was. A few minutes into this phone call, I interrupted him and said, "Wait a minute, Joel, are you telling me that you've been flying out to California every couple weeks for months and in between those trips, you've had someone else coming to visit you that you're spending all your time with. You know, what about work? What about your business? What about Billy Joel concerts? And he said, you know, Josh, I've just been spending a little bit less time on all that stuff recently. The main point here, of course, is that I was right about that. Lauren has taught Joel to stop and smell the roses. I think that was a fantastic way of putting it. Joel has this sort of balance in his life now that he either didn't want or wasn't able to have before. And the reason he does want it and is able to have it now is because it's Lauren.
Is traditionally a time where the groom sits not only with his rabbis, but his father. As he, the father, would rejoice in sending his son off into the world to create and be responsible for a family of his own. I feel it important to acknowledge this difference today, today's festivities, and this obvious absence. I would like to take this time rather to acknowledge some of the examples of love and role models that I have been blessed to have had in helping me to become the man that I am, that sits right here with you. First and foremost, I feel it also important to mention that I would not be here in this moment, or anywhere for that matter, without the never-ending love, support, and diligence of my mother. My being here and being capable of the love that I feel for Scheller is a direct result of the love that was bestowed upon me. Her devotion to raising Dory and me on her own is unparalleled, and I will repeat what I have often said as a child, that while I did not have a father's involvement growing up, I was given a mom and a mother that was twice as good. Mom, thank you. Just does not seem like enough, especially today. My dear young fathers, Paul, Jason, Brett, Noah, Harry, Sean, Matt, Ray. I've watched, witnessed, learned, and I've enjoyed it so. The beauty and respect that you have shown to love being a father to your children. Each of you has taken an element of fun and kindness that I've known so well for so many years, and you bestowed it on these little creatures. What a joy for me to watch, and especially to honor you today on Father's Day, and for me to be honored by your presence, sharing your Father's Day with me. But know the feelings that I have, and know that I want to acknowledge you all, and I am so unbelievably humbled by the trip that everyone has made to be here. And I look to acknowledge today's Father's Day on the day that I'm officially committed to creating a sacred space responsible for a family of my own. You guys. L'chaim! L'chaim! I have to take a moment, because I would be remiss if I didn't recognize one more major influence in my life. And the reality is, no matter who I was marrying, I would be talking about him today. Lauren's dad, Mr. Scheller. His presence is surely felt today, deep within my heart. I looked at Gary on the bus on the way over here, and I said this so many times, but there is not a man that would be happier at this moment. He was his daughter's father and lived and breathed for her happiness. Some people say that he must have had something to do with this, with me and Lauren coming together, this discovery of love between Scheller and me. I can debate this endlessly in my mind. Whether he is pulling strings from heaven, or this was there all along, only to be revealed at the precise moment that was right for the two of us. Regardless, it is certain that no one would be happier than Jim. Be smiling bigger or have more fun on the dance floor with me tonight.
How does one possibly get through a day like today without such a piece of their heart and soul, as my father is a part of me? But it's that love between my dad and me that transcends all time and space. He is here because he is a part of me, as he is a part of many of you. This all worked out the way my dad would have intended. What a thing for all the stars to have aligned so that this day would fall on Father's Day, and that I would purchase my gown on your birthday. And then most of all, choose to have both a wedding cake and a dessert bar. Today I have chosen the man that my dad would have chosen. He in fact did choose him. For Joel and my dad were soulmates of sorts. Adopted father and son, really. My dad, Jim, was in many ways a father to Joel too, but also a friend. What a true homage to the first man in my life, my first love, my first Valentine, hero, best hugger, and my biggest fan. I am marrying a man that you knew and loved completely. We will see you again soon in our children's eyes, and one day with wings, we will dance and we will fly. To Jim, my first love, who is here with us today, joyously and certainly giving me away to my second true love.
Joel, your Hebrew name is Ephraim. It means productive, energetic, boundless energy, creative, on the move, running and going, and always adding more and more and more at the very last minute. Am I right?
About it.
And that has been somewhat tempered in a good way by Lawrence, whose Hebrew name is Leora Aliza. Leora means you are a light to me. Aliza means happiness or rejoicing. And in that relationship with Lauren, who is a little more thoughtful, a little more planned out, who doesn't jump in too fast but likes to see how things are going to work and how things are going to go. In that sense, each of you bring that gift to each other by sharing who you are with your beloved, by accepting who your beloved is. And in this mutual process, each of you change and grow and truly become a more complete person and a new person and an integrated unit. And because of that, you are better equipped for life together as a husband and wife.
She hasn't seen my tux.
This is the big reveal.
I need to be revealed too.
Sure. You got carried up on people's shoulders, Joel.
Lauren Scheller, may you be fruitful and prosper. May God make you as Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. May Adonai bless you and protect you. May Adonai show you favor and be gracious to you. And may Adonai show you kindness and grant you peace. Achotenu at hayi la'alfei revava. Yisimech Elohim kesara Rivka Rachel v'Leah. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichineka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha. Yaseh Mecha Shalom.
Mazel tov.
It couldn't be any more magical, really, a fairy tale, that the person all along who was right there with us, laughing and crying and, quite frankly, competing with me as Lauren's best friend, was the man she would find true love with. Many of you might not know this, but without Joel, I might not have found the love of my life. Joel had an extra ticket on a concert that fated night in March 2006 and offered it to me. That night shifted the whole direction of my life, and in an instant, I found the love of my life. Joel, thank you for that ticket. It changed my life forever. Just like a Coldplay concert could change my life, a wedding in Martha's Vineyard could shift the direction of yours. As simple as a boat ride and a glance and a ping of jealousy for you to see what many of us had always saw, that you two were made for each other.
Perhaps it took us a little longer to see what was so obvious to others. But in the end, I had to choose you. And I do choose you. And I will continue to choose you forever. Because it's in that choosing that says I actively commit to being your wife and your family. I put our relationship before everything else. I will put our new family at the center of my world. I ensure my decisions benefit us and our future. I work every day to understand myself better so I can be a better me for you. I work to be a nicer, fairer, better listener, more optimistic, and truly a more complete, more ideal version of myself. Today I stand before you with complete joy and peace and say, I choose you today and every day. My love in my life. I love you.
Here in this beautiful setting that you have created in your mind and in your heart and with your hard work, we've managed to get our nearest and dearest loved ones to witness me commit my life to taking care of you and always looking out for your well-being. I vow to continue this commitment that was already made. As they say, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, in good times and in bad. Well, that commitment was made a long time ago. I'm not sure how or why, but I can tell you that it was completely out of my hands. It's just the way that I was created and woven into this humble soul that you see before you. You've watched this soul develop over 25 years. I truly believe that something was instilled within me to instinctively always be looking out for you, your safety, your security, and ensuring your happiness in life. Now I'm honored by God to be able to ensure your happiness in life and in love. I devote myself to you today and every day from this day forward, in the presence of our moms, the spirit of your beloved Father, our family and friends, under this chuppah, under these skies of heaven, and with God. I love you now and always.
Put this down at the groom's feet, right in front of his foot. Mazel tov!
Oh, my love, I like always you and I, steady as we rise, be forever mine.
I am happy you decided to take a chance on each other. All we ever want in life is for our friends and family, for them to be happy, for them to always know love, and for them to find the one who will be there for them no matter what. Lauren, I don't have to worry about that for you. Joel has been that person for you for what seems like your whole life.